Rock and roll, Toastmasters. Last weekend, a slightly sunburned friend of mine, Pink Floyd, asked me what I did last weekend. This is what I told him. I stood before a group on Saturday, the Black Sabbath of the Blue Oyster Cult. I invited their motley crew to join me as we rushed into a journey of rock and roll, of fantasy. Contest master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, it all began in Boston. We made our way to Chicago via Kansas, realizing that people in America love rock and roll, but also those that are known as a foreigner. The who, you ask? Those from Europe and Asia, even those with a twisted sister in their family. I invited them back to my home of fantasy, rock and roll. We enjoyed a meal of meatloaf, the cranberries with red hot chili peppers and cream, seasoned with salt and pepper, served with pearl jam. We didn't worry if the food would stay warm, because if we lost power, our warmer worked with batteries. Yes, it was AC/DC. And to drink anything, what's your poison? After dinner, we went to the front room and we gazed out my magical city window. We looked out. We saw the cars and an REO Speedwagon on E Street, band together with the Eagles in the sky attacking a Led Zeppelin. On the ground outside this magical window, we saw a white lion roar louder and louder at the deaf leopard right in front of him. The clash of the roar scared the stray cats all around, and all the leopard could see before him was a quiet riot as the Beatles formed a line in the ground next to him. Upset, the leopard ran up a hill that he usually slept on, known locally as ZZ Top. And he tried to throw some rocks down the hill to calm the animals. The Rolling Stones gathered no moss, but they did end up smashing pumpkins. This didn't work, so off in the distance we saw bow hunters come to try to keep the animals from slaying each other. Their ammunition maker, Arrow Smith, came with them, but was wanted in several states. There was a warrant for this public enemy for using Metallica shafts instead of the traditional wooden sticks. Soon calm came to the valley because we watched these men at work, devoted to creating peace. Although several did step in wolf feces. We then turned our gaze back to the sky, where we could see our third president reflection in a plane flying overhead. This Jefferson airplane was headed to see an electric light orchestra, where Her Majesty the Queen was going to be in attendance with her lover boy. My guests and I went to the back of our house and looked out at the shore in the distance. There we could see our friends, Hall and Oates, surfing. The Beach Boys came to the beach, and they ran across a lovely lady, a super tramp, followed by two hideous suitors. The Beauty and these Beastie Boys continued their walk across the sand when all of a sudden the suitors fell into a pit of scorpions. and killed these two suitors, putting them into their final REM state. What the Supertramp did not know is that these gentlemen were happy to have left this world. The Grateful Dead were transported to the cemetery by a famous Cadillac collector, Fleetwood Mac. Now, as I took my guests to the front of the house, I said to each of them, as I bid you goodbye and kiss you good night, I want you to be aware before I open the doors that all of our cabs in this city are vans. So I will go back to my chair, gaze out my window, and watch you go, Van Halen. I looked at my friend that I was telling this story to, and he just stood there and he smiled, a knowing smile. And he said to me, "You too?" I simply replied, "Yes." Mr. Contest Master.